It's kind of difficult to get a good gaming computer these days since cryptocurrency miners are pretty much grabbing everything that has a semi-decent graphics processor. So this might be a good opportunity to get acquainted with Gigabyte's gaming laptops, since you might have a better chance of getting one than getting a good GPU. Today we're going to take a look at Aorus 15G. This model is a ticket to a world of serious mobile gaming since it's based on the 10th generation Intel Core CPU and GeForce RTX 30 series graphics processors. At first glance, the Aorus 15G does not grab the attention with some ultra flashy looks. It has a fairly simple design, flat surfaces and straight edges, a classic look that we're all used to. And honestly, that might not be a bad thing to rest our eyes a bit from different design experiments we see on gaming laptops. Also, the impact of the improved MAX-Q design is noticeable, and it might be that Gigabyte has opted for straight lines in order to accentuate its thin profile. This is one of the thinner gaming laptops we've tested so far. The case is made of quality black ABS plastic with a finely brushed texture surface which is pleasant to touch. Gigabyte packed the Aorus 15G in a case that is 36 cm wide, 24.5 cm deep, and just over 2 cm thick. It weighs about 2 kilograms, which is more than you might expect, but necessary due to the efficient heatsink that cools the powerful processors in this device. For MAX-Q laptops, Nvidia has set very high criteria in terms of the quality of the built-in screens, so we're paying special attention to display quality this model can offer. First of all, the screen bezels on the Aorus 15G are really thin. Only the bottom one is understandably thicker due to the electronics needed for the backlight and the power supply of the panel. Effective desktop surface does subjectively seem fairly large for this laptop size. The screen is bright with good colors and pretty sharp and clear, which allows for a nice visibility of small details and text, even at the basic 1920x1080 pixel resolution and a 15.6 screen size. It offers good display quality for both games and photo and video processing applications. We measured the maximum brightness value of 310 nits. This Aorus uses an IPS panel with an anti-reflective coating, which is able to cover 72% of the NTSC gamut. The best thing about this panel is that refresh rate goes up to 240 Hz, which is pretty impressive for a laptop and offers a very smooth display both on desktop and in games. Each screen is individually calibrated as evidenced by the X-Rite certificate. The position of the HD camera is quite interesting. In order to allow for such thin screen bezels, it is located on the bottom of the screen frame with an archaic mechanical lens shutter that protects your privacy. On the back, as well as on both sides closer to the monitor, there are large exhaust vents. This G exhaust system, in combination with the slots on top and the mesh surfaces on the bottom of the device, have proven to be efficient given the limited case volume of this model. The keyboard, which comes with a numpad, caught my attention because of the non-standard narrow letter marks. At first, the keys seem unusually small to me, but it's actually an optical illusion due to the condensed font on the keycaps. The shallow chiclet keys have a short stroke with a standard soft membrane feel. I especially like that the backlight doesn't glow too much under the buttons and that the light intensity can be adjusted in few steps. It's even reminded me a bit of the Legion models. The touchpad is pretty standard one, and I recommend turning it off while gaming because the root of the thumb of the left hand will almost certainly activate it at most inconvenient moments. On the sides of the Aorus 15G, we find a variety of connections. On the left, there's one HDMI 2.1, one mini DisplayPort 1.4, a USB-A 3.2 with 5 gigabit per second data transfer, one combined 3.5mm headphone and microphone jack, as well as a standard LAN port. On the opposite side, there is an SD memory card reader, a power connector, a couple of 5 gigabit per second USB-A 3.2 connectors, and one USB-C 3.2, but it's only first gen, which can't even power the external drives. Therefore, there is no second generation USB 3.2, which is certainly a disadvantage on a €2,000 laptop, primarily because the users that this model targets often need to quickly transfer large files. The speakers are located on the underside of the laptop towards the outer edges and closer to the front and the user. The sound is solid, but if you really want to maximize your experience, headphones are mandatory. What makes a gaming laptop recognizable is its hardware. The Aorus 15G uses one of the most powerful mobile versions of the Intel Core i7-10870H processor. An 8-core processor that executes 16 threads simultaneously can occasionally boost the frequencies up to 5 GHz. It is paired with an HM470 chipset and 16 GB of dual-channel configured DDR4 memory at 3200 MHz. The processor may not be the latest 11th generation, but it is a very powerful mobile version, and it perfectly fits the character of a fast gaming laptop. And of course, the main source of its gaming performance is the latest generation of mobile graphics processors, the GeForce RTX 3060 with 6GB of GDDR6 memory, which is made for full HD gaming laptop models. With the help of the Dynamic Boost 2.0 technology powered by an artificial intelligence algorithm, it speeds up the graphics processor over 1.5 GHz all the way to almost 2 GHz, thus achieving results very close to the desktop version of this graphics card. Of course, there is also the resizable bar option, which further helps raise the FPS. So a well-assembled and set up platform that already, on paper, promises a lot. And for the computer to operate quickly, there is also an M.2 NVMe PCI 4X SSD device, this time with 512 GB capacity. This is close to a minimum required for modern gaming, considering how demanding today's games are when it comes to disk space. It will be a squeeze for many users, but the fact that there is an additional M.2 slot in which you can install another fast M.2 2280 SSD device makes this a non-issue. The sound is processed by Realtek codec enhanced by Namek 3 software, while the Realtek 2.5 gigabit per second network controller is in charge of fast network connection and minimal lag in online games. The alternative is the wireless connection with Intel AX200 6th generation Wi-Fi solution, which operates on 2 wavelengths and supports 802.11ax standard. There is also a Bluetooth 5.0 for wireless peripherals, so overall very fast and versatile wireless connectivity. Battery is a lithium polymer with a capacity of 99 watt-hours, and when gaming on battery, the frame rate is locked at 30 FPS. In terms of autonomy, we achieved an average for gaming models of about 180 minutes. For maximum gaming and application performance, be sure to use a powerful 230 watt external
So
AC
adapter.
adapter.
Story his way. How the Outriders fucked everything up. He needs to die.
Outrider, wait. Maxwell is the only one who can call off the landing. We need to get it to reason.
The Aorus 15G comes with a Windows 10 Home 64-bit operating system pre-installed and a nice surprise in the form of an Aorus Control Center. Thoroughly redesigned and substantially improved with a nicer graphical interface compared to similar software that come with desktop motherboards. We especially like the tabs monitoring and adjusting RGB light effects, but there are plenty of other useful tools. We noticed that this laptop arrives with the Azure AI software installed. You may recognize Microsoft Azure as a complex cloud ecosystem, but what does it actually do on a laptop? Apparently, it is being used as a large database of hardware components and applications, and thanks to this technology, Aorus can recognize whether you are playing Counter-Strike or Fortnite and speed up the game by boosting the part of the hardware that has the biggest impact on performance for the specific game or app. Personally, my only concern is that so much artificial intelligence in different aspects might cause collision between several active algorithms. But for now, it all works well. In use, the Aorus 15G certainly shows a character of a serious performer and lives up to its gaming pedigree. We have to praise one very important element, often unjustifiably neglected on laptops: a great cooling system that makes this thin gaming machine unusually quiet. Many more expensive models are not as good in this respect. It is especially well designed in the sense that the surface of the computer is the coldest where the fingers touch the keys. The CPU and GPU are cooled extremely well. You can definitely tell when the system enters high performance mode, but is not nearly as noisy as similar gaming models. Therefore, in case of Aorus 15G, the influence of MAX-Q design is very noticeable in action. And most important of all, it has an impact on the speed, in programs, and more importantly, in games. So this practically entry-level Aorus laptop among the GeForce RTX 30 based models delivers performance on par with the most powerful models of the previous generation. The GPU also works great with studio drivers and delivers the expected boost in the CUDA accelerated programs. So this is a good debut for Gigabyte in the gaming laptop arena. It is definitely well tuned and combines a fast monitor with the powerful hardware. At the same time, it is perfect for gaming, but also for content creation, primarily due to the fact that it is not thick, hot, or over-the-top looking. On the contrary, it is actually everything that a computer like this should be: thin, quiet, unobtrusive in appearance, and fast in operation. It is not without flaws, and the biggest one is the absence of a 10 gigabit per second USB 3.2 port, plus we would appreciate a better keyboard. Gigabyte could have realistically included this for the price of 2,000 euros or roughly 2,400 US dollars. Likewise, they should pay a bit more attention to the design of some details like a webcam shutter or a nicer shaped power button. A bit of finesse to make it truly feel like a premium device. The Aorus 15G certainly has such ambitions because everything else that is most important for a device like this is really at a surprisingly good level. We can say we're surprised because if someone is expert in good hardware, then it might as well be company with the Gigabyte's experience and expertise. And on that note, we would also like to see even stronger Aorus models with OLED screens and even faster GeForce RTX series models. We'll get that one, I'm sure, so please stay tuned. Thank you for watching another Bench House review. Don't forget to subscribe and also leave a like below the video. Share us your thoughts about the model in the comment section below. My name is Marco, and I will see you next time.